Welcome to the Headspace and Tasting Podcast, where we talk manhood, tell stories, and discuss the stuff that matters to us one sip at a time. Well, hello, Kevin.
Mad.
We're just saying hello after having a 2-hour-long conversation at the bar.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
We'll get our stuff together one of these days, but
someday.
Not today. It ain't today, I'll tell you that much.
No. We don't know what we're doing anymore.
So you were just saying, well, first of all, folks, thanks for joining us. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that stuff. Wherever you're listening to us from, please comment so we know you're listening to us from there. But most of our listeners are on Spotify. Drop a line, say hello. We will respond, and we'd love to hear from you. If you want to give us a bourbon suggestion, or you think we're terrible and need to fix something up, if you think we're boring, as somebody once said, let us know. We're okay with criticism.
Sorry, babe.
Kevin, you were saying before I hit record, I said, hold on. Let's actually record something that we are having a good conversation about.
Yeah.
This whiskey that we're tasting tonight reminded you of something.
It did. It reminded me of a movie. I had to look it up because I couldn't remember the name of it. But there's a movie from 1937 called Captain's Courageous with Spencer Tracy as the fisherman, and Freddie Bartholomew, who was a rich, spoiled kid who ended up...
Is that the character's name or the actor's name?
No, the actor's name.
Okay.
Rich, spoiled boy who didn't get along with his father and ends up out here with these fishermen and falls in love with the whole idea of fishing.
Okay.
And Spencer Tracy becomes his mentor, kind of like his father figure.
Yeah, like a surrogate dad or something.
Yep, over the course of it. And he ends up dying at the end.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, ends up dying, and him and his dad reconnect.
Okay.
The whole point, the reason I'm bringing it up is because as I'm drinking this particular whiskey that we'll mention, it reminded me of that movie, because there's plenty of scenes in that movie where they're on the boat and the salty water splashes you in the face, and you kind of get that taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
And that's what this is reminding me of.
A little briny, maybe.
Yeah, kind of, but it's not a bad way.
So the whiskey we're drinking, and we're saying whiskey, not bourbon, because this is a whiskey tonight. It is out of Tennessee. It is Uncle Nearest single barrel, and this is a store pick, a barrel pick by Schnucks. Which again, whoever's doing this for Schnucks, you're doing a great job, man. You're out there killing it. This is 59.05%, 118.1 proof. And it is barrel 1566, and that's written by hand on here. The barrel's kind of, the label's kind of hard to read because it's in gold on black, and my light is like blaring off of it. But
you can't see anyway. You're farsighted.
Yes. But it is distilled and aged in Tennessee, bottled by Nearest Green Distillery. So that right there, bottled by. So it's distilled and aged in Tennessee, but it's bottled by Nearest Green. So I wonder if they're not the distiller of this liquid. Either way, it comes from Tennessee, and they do use the Lincoln County process, which is what, Kevin?
That's the charcoal filtered process they do. They
run it through the charcoal filter before they put it in the barrel before aging.
Yeah, and it's a requirement to be called a Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah. So this has the trademark 3 stars on it from Tennessee. It's a real cork on it. Let's see if it's no squeak to it though. But it's like
brand new. Really
brand new cork, young cork in there.
You could tell it was just recently bottled. It hasn't sat on a shelf for long.
Yeah. And I picked this up for $90 at Schnucks. Sorry, baby, if you're hearing this. $90 bottle of whiskey here, which is above usually what I purchase. That's above my price point, but I was feeling a little frisky. I gave Kevin a couple options like, hey, look at these 4 bottles. And I didn't tell him the price.
Nope.
I just said, these 4 bottles, which one should I get? He said, Uncle Nearest. I was like, you son of a gun. That's the most expensive one.
Hey.
So I picked it up, and we don't know the mash bill. They keep it secret, but we know it's it's got to be 70% at least corn, right?
Yeah, we believe it's high rye.
High rye, probably
20
15 to
range.
20, I think, is what it definitely comes out.
It does.
The color on it, I put it's straw to honey.
Right. Same.
Right on the high end of a straw color, so it definitely looks like a whiskey. It doesn't look like a bourbon. And then it does have a little bit of barley in it, but it's very corn forward.
Yeah.
Is what
Well, you got to have the
corn
barley
rye.
in it because the barley gives you the creates all the yeast and
Yeah.
gets it going.
So if, let's say 70% corn, 20% rye, the other 10% would be malted barley.
Yeah, I would say it's more like 3 to 5.
So a little bit more corn, you think? 75 corn?
Mm.
I'm getting a
Somewhere.
lot of corn. So what did you get on the nose? What are you smelling?
For me, it was just honey.
That's what I wrote, raw honey.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wrote.
There wasn't much after that.
No, it was just raw honey, sweetness type,
Yeah,
but
not a lot of heat. Like it wasn't. Not even
No.
gonna singe the nose at all.
And it's over a little bit over 118 proof, so I expected it to burn my face off when I took a sniff, but it didn't.
Nope.
What about on the taste? What did you taste?
It was somewhat leathery in the taste. You mentioned a little woody. It is kind of, but not very much at all.
No, not much. I would
def-
say they're probably more on the finish, but than anything. But
Yeah, and the taste for me went right into the finish. There wasn't a whole lot on the taste side.
okay,
It drifted straight into the finish for me, which was more for baking spice, black pepper, and this is where all the rye was coming out.
yeah,
And again, what I was talking about, it's not a salty whiskey like I was describing with the movie,
no.
but it gives me that kind of feel.
It's when you take a drink, it's like you described that like little, like the guy said, like you take a drink, you're like, oh yeah, this is a whiskey right here.
Yeah.
Like, this is a man's whiskey. Put hair on your chest.
Mm-hmm. Nothing at all near what I would think is 118 proof.
No,
I mean,
no.
I drank things that were 86 proof that burned my mouth more than this does.
Sure, yeah. On the taste for me, I put corn forward, followed by rye, but then I also wrote a little note here that like bread dough, like a yeasty dough, not cooked yet. You know,
Okay.
little dough, and then the finish, I bake it. It goes right into baking spice. Is what I put on here. So a lot of sweet, spicy.
For all you
baking
preppers
stuff.
out there, if you ever tried to make out in the field on your own in the middle of nowhere, bannock bread, bread,
Yeah.
that you're right.
Right.
That's what it reminds me of.
Like a little doughy, sweet dough type of thing, but not where you're like, oh.
Yeah, it's
But-
a thick gooey dough that you're gonna wrap around a stick and stick over your fire.
Yeah, we used to call them Ranger cookies. We would take our crackers for the MRE crackers and crumple them all up, and then put a little bit of water in there, make a dough out of it, and then try to add whatever sweet we could get, you know, mix in there, and then try to cook it over a little piece of C4 that we left. Call them Ranger cookies. They were disgusting, but if all you've eaten was, tuna noodles or ham slice for a week and a half, a little Ranger cookie was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's why we would basically threaten to slit each other's throats for a jalapeno cheese spread.
Love that stuff.
Yeah, me too.
That was some good stuff. I used to eat
Oh, you
that
put
right out of the packet.
Put the cocoa powder. That's what it was. Crumpled up crackers with a little bit of water and the cocoa powder in there.
I do know this was aged 11 years.
11
That's
years,
the
yeah.
only thing I know specifically
And
about
you could tell it does have the legs to show an 11-year aging process. But even though you said age is not what legs.
Correct.
But it stands to reason that if you put something in a barrel and age it, it would become more viscous over time, right? It becomes a little bit thicker because it's basically like distilling it down by vapors leaving, right? Is that correct?
Yep.
Dehydrating it a little bit.
Kind of.
So it's a little bit stickier. So I don't know if I buy that. I'm going to say I disagree with the experts on this.
Well, funny you should say that because this past weekend, I passed my exam.
Yeah, congratulations.
I am now a certified bourbon steward,
Cool.
which is the equivalent of a level 1 somm
That's pretty
in
awesome.
the wine world. This is just special for the bourbon. So when I'm giving you a description, it adds a little bit more credibility.
Yeah.
That could be as wrong as whatever, because there are no wrong answers when
Right.
it comes to describing.
There you
Everybody
go.
has their own taste.
Yeah. Do they say that in the wine world if a sommelier is speaking? There's no wrong answers here. But I'm an expert on this, so you should
I
listen
have
to me.
never seen that ever. But in my study material for this certification, it specifically says there are no wrong answers.
Yeah. When I was touring a distillery in Nashville, what was that? Greenbrier? Dang it. What was the name of it? Anyway.
Oh.
The
I
guy,
wasn't there.
I was the only one who showed up for the tour. They had a bunch of people signed up, but they didn't show up. So it was just me. I got a personal tour through their distillery. And the guy said, look, we're going to do a tasting here. Whatever you taste is what you taste. It's your palate. It's your experience, and it's all subjective based off of you. So whether you like it, don't like it, you taste sweet, you taste spicy, you taste hot, whatever, like that's all you. And all of your answers are correct because that's what you are experiencing right now. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And that's the good thing about bourbon. That's the really cool thing is that it depends. Like it really depends on what you ate that day.
Right.
Or what you ate 10 years ago. It'll just like spark in your brain like, oh, man, I remember I had this turkey dinner and there was like this cranberry sauce that had this certain flavor to it, and this is what brings it up.
Well, and that's why I mentioned the movie description.
Yeah.
Because in the Bourbon Steward program, they actually recommend that you reference how it feels with you, memories, things that are triggered, not just taste and flavor, because that's boring.
Yeah.
They want to know how do you relate to it?
Yeah, that's a very unique thing with us, with humans, right? Is like, especially with smell. When we smell something,
Oh yeah,
it'll trigger memories. Like, how many times have you smelled? And it may not be a very appealing smell. Like, let's say you smell pig feces, and it'll trigger memories
gross.
of Korea, and you're like, oh, or like kimchi. You could smell kimchi and immediately I'm in Seoul, standing in a subway with a bunch of Korean
not
people.
kimchi. I got to be standing next to somebody who's sweating it.
Yeah,
And I'm going, oh,
the garlic body odor, and you're like,
yes.
oh, that. Or it's probably
I know what you eat.
garlic and cigarette smoke. Is Korea. But there are definitely things like, like Fort Lewis has a certain smell to it. The ferns and the decomposing earth, the pine needles and the Fort Lewis had a certain smell to it.
Yeah, there's things I can't mention right now.
Not the drinky girl smell. Or what'd you call them? Juicy girls?
We call them juicy girls.
Yeah, they were drinky girl stuff. But they had a distinct odor to them, allegedly. I don't know. That's what I heard. Anyway. So yeah, this Uncle Nearest, to me, when I drink it, when I taste it, I'm like, that's a dang whiskey right there. That's a whiskey. This is like Old West when I see a Western and a guy's like, give me a whiskey.
And I'm glad we can enjoy it tonight because in my hands is a news article from 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
Uncle Nearest is filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Oh, no.
So bad.
Another one.
The founder, Fawn Weaver.
His name's on this bottle.
Her name, Fawn Weaver.
Oh, wait. Let me put my glasses back on. I thought it was Vaughn.
No, Fawn Weaver.
V-E-D.
Fawn and
Butler.
Keith Weaver.
Okay.
They were, according to this article, the court-appointed receiver overseeing the whiskey company terminated both Fawn and Keith Weaver's employment and involvement effective June 1st, cutting the founders
What did they do?
off from the business they built nearly a decade ago.
What have they done?
They are running somewhere around $100 million in debt.
Oh.
So the company is filing bankruptcy. And the founders, who are actually part of the company, were actually voted and removed from anything to do with the company.
Yeah, probably because they were complicit in taking on that much debt.
And doing a lot of fun things with it.
I'm sure they were flying in private jets and had brand new freaking Escalades and, whatever else they could write off on the company. And gosh.
So do you know where Uncle Nearest
man.
comes from?
No.
I did not know this. So this part's interesting. Uncle Nearest is actually named after Nathan Nearest Green.
Okay.
Nearest in quotes. He was a former enslaved distiller who was widely recognized as the first known black master distiller.
Wow.
And he was the man who taught Jack Daniels the craft.
Oh, I do remember that name. Okay. That's
And
pretty crazy.
They grew this company out of nothing within 10 years, and now it's going to go back
Now they
to
ruined it.
nothing.
Man.
So enjoy your Uncle Nearest.
This bottle's probably worth way more than $90 right now that we're drinking.
At least 500. Because it's a Schnuck's barrel pick.
No wonder they had it locked up in a glass case.
There you go. Well, they didn't know about it. Actually, at least according to this article, nobody knew that the founders were removed from the company until this report was published. And because it's been effective since June 1st, and here we are in the middle of July.
Don't we have in America, we have some of the craziest bankruptcy laws. Like you can just declare bankruptcy and walk away basically scot-free. You can be like, yeah, it didn't work out. I made some bad decisions.
Not as easy as that anymore.
Not like Michael Scott yelling out, I declare bankruptcy.
Yeah, I think even with bankruptcy today, there is still a forced repayment amount.
Well, it's a fraction.
You can't just walk away from it. There was a time you could walk away from it.
Well, they're $100 million in debt. Are they going to strip all their assets and everything? No.
They're going to sell all these barrels.
Because everything was probably put into a trust, and the trust manages the assets and blah, blah. So you can't take it from that, right? So they just make all these crappy decisions, and then everybody at the factory, at the distillery, is out of a job.
Yep.
And and they're still going to be living high on the hog.
Yes.
So down with the capitalist pigs? Is that what we should say?
No.
No, of course not. But people should be held accountable for their crappy behavior, man. These people weren't, I guarantee you, they're not true capitalists. Like, they're not.
Well, and this is what's bad. I mean, there's no such thing as holding people accountable anymore.
No.
We're not even a nation of laws. We don't even do it.
Here's like, I heard this guy say, somebody asked him one time, okay, you're standing at a bar with your wife, and somebody walks by and smacks her on the butt as they walk by. What would you do? And the guy said, I would beat the living hell out of that guy. And he said, well, yeah, but there's consequences for that. He said, exactly. There's consequences for you putting your hands on my wife. And whatever consequences come from me dealing out the consequences, like, okay, there's consequences. Oh, of course. Right? So for these people to behave this, like, I don't know the particulars of why they filed bankruptcy, but they obviously mismanaged the company, right? And made some poor decisions. But what are the real consequences of it? They don't get to own the company anymore. Okay. And what else?
I'm going to give you 3 things I saw between yesterday afternoon and this morning. So less than 24 hours.
All right.
Number 1, I'm driving down the outer road by my house. 2 lanes.
Yeah.
Right? 1 lane each direction. Straight road. Nothing going on. All of a sudden, the guy behind this other guy, and he's driving the speed limit. I can tell by the speed. He passes him. It's not even a passing area.
Yeah, it's a double lane. Yeah.
Passes him, and he is just flying down the road. It's a 45 mile an area. I guarantee he's doing at least 60. My opposite direction. I went, yeah, you gotta be kidding me. And then this morning, I was sitting at a stoplight, and the guy on the other side just decided to drive through because it didn't turn green yet. I'm going, and then the other one was I'm sitting at a right turn yield. So I'm in the right turn yield lane.
Yeah.
Cars are coming.
Right.
2 cars behind me. went on the shoulder, drove on the right side of me, just out into the lane of traffic.
What the hell, man?
2.
You know, I had the same type of experiences, and I was up in Chicago for work, and I'm taking an Uber from the train station, and it's getting close to rush hour. It's not quite rush hour yet, but it's getting there where people are starting to get nervous about getting stuck in rush hour traffic. And dude, people just merge without turn signals. Like, basically, if you didn't hit your brakes, they would have hit you.
Yeah.
So the guy had to hit his brakes, and then you honk the horn, and people don't care. Then you got people behind you honking the horn because you're not up on the ass of the person in front of them, and they're honking like, "Hurry, let's go!" Right now, I'm like, what is going on here, man? Like, is it really that serious? This is not that bad. So then my wife picked me up at the train station today, and we're driving home, and right at where 270 turns onto 70. It's a 2-lane turn. So you have 2 lanes to go onto 70.
Yes.
There's a dude in the 3rd lane who's like, oh, this is my exit. Whips across 2 lanes, goes through the median, dang near goes through the grass right in front of us. But he was far enough ahead where I was like, well, that sucks for that guy. He almost missed his exit and crashed. But if he would have been 30 yards closer to me, there would have been some serious repercussions for him almost killing my family. You know, like, dude, you don't know who you're riding next to on the highway. That could be the final straw for them.
I think that one right there, that example is someone who drives by their GPS.
Yeah, and they don't have the volume turned up to tell them to turn.
And they just do whatever it says.
Yeah. Dude, I was thinking to myself, like, what if that guy would have ran us off the road? What would I have done? Would I have been able to keep my stuff together and not?
You wouldn't have, because you had your family in the car with you.
Yeah, I would have. I think I would have snapped. I would have snapped, man. Like that. That's something like you're endangering my wife and children because you couldn't go down one exit and turn around and come back.
It was 1983. I remember this now, even as a old man. 1983.
Say that again. As a what?
As an old man. 13-year-old kid sitting in a car. My dad's driving. We have my sister, who's less than a year old, in the back seat. Driving down the road. We're at a stop sign. And we go forward, and the guy, a pickup truck, runs out in front, passes my dad, gets in the lane right in front of him, slams on his brakes right before the red light, and cuts us off. My dad, as soon as the light turned red, we stopped. My dad opened his car door, got out, walked up to the guy in the pickup truck, windows down, and all I see is my dad's arm and fist just going wham, 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 right into the cab of that pickup truck. And then my dad just turned around and walked back to our car and got in like nothing happened.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if you can get away with doing that too without getting
they would say
shot or
say,
something.
there's a road rage incident, and they would say your name and who you work for, and then you would lose your job, and you'd probably get arrested for assault and all sorts of. It would get caught on some freaking government spy device that's on every corner of our communities, and there's no immediate consequences to your actions anymore. No. That's why, like, when people blow their fingers off with fireworks, I'm like, well, yeah, what did you expect to happen when you're holding an explosive in your hand and you light it?
Or the guy who took the mortar round tube and put it on top of his head. Yeah. And when it shot, it killed him because the concussion.
That's all we're doing is cleaning out the gene pool, as far as I'm concerned. Like, of course, it's sad when people die, and I hate it. And
it's just unfortunate. We're at a point now, even in normal day-to-day stuff, that everyone is setting their own rules.
That's true.
We're not following rules anymore. Everybody's just setting their own. Well, no, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
No, I can flick my cigarette out the window.
Oh, dude, that is really what enrages me.
Well, I hate that.
Yeah.
They put all their ashes in their ashtray.
I have a couple times picked up people's trash and thrown it back in their car. I've done that a couple times. Like, hey, I think you dropped something.
We had, you're going to love this one because I love CSI. There was, in a subdivision I used to live in, there's only one way out. You get to one stop sign and then to exit. So there's only one way to get out.
Of your neighborhood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of where I used to live.
Oh, used to live. Okay.
Yeah. So there aren't that many houses.
Yeah.
Right? At the stop sign, once a week at least, there'd be a pile of cigarette butts on the floor where someone took their ashtray and dumped it all out.
Yeah.
And drove on.
That's disgusting, man.
Well, I got tired of it. I mean, this is my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I went up one morning and I investigated. I took pictures of the pile. I actually picked up 2 of the cigarette butts, put them in my Ziploc bag that I brought with me, and I took pictures of that. And then I investigated the cigarette. Lipstick.
Oh.
So I'm like, all right, it's a female. It's on this side of where I live.
Couldn't assume that today, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you're right. There's only this many houses.
Yeah.
And I actually took the time to pay attention to who smoked in my neighborhood, because you could tell.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And back then you could tell. And I'm talking...
Their houses are probably filthy and...
I'm talking 15 years ago.
Dirty kids that don't get bathed all the time.
I was able to narrow it down to one house.
Yeah.
And I was very diligent in my investigation.
Okay.
And I took those pictures. I photocopied them onto a piece of paper and typed a letter.
Yeah.
And dropped it in that mailbox.
Nice.
I never saw another pile of cigarettes.
That's great.
Dropped in my subdivision.
I mean, that's pretty mild reaction, honestly. That's a very measured, and I mean,
I just wanted her to know that I was watching her.
I think it would have been okay to hold her down and dump a whole Ziploc bag full of ashes in her mouth, but that might be a bit extreme.
But there was a time
that's like my
when if you
first
reacted
reaction.
that way, people would not do that. That would be an example in which people go, you know what? I don't want that happening to me.
Not only that, they would get tarred and feathered and be scarred for life, and everybody would be cheering and throw a party. You know, put them on a rail and run them out of town and be like, hey, you're not coming back to this community anymore. We used to do that kind of thing here. And, you know, things were better then, maybe.
People would throw their late night cocktails through your window.
Yeah. The Russian kind? Yeah, you know, it's there used to be consequences to your crappy behavior. There really used to be.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm reading a book right now called Bushwhackers. It's about the guerrilla war that was going on in Missouri during the Civil War.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what started it, was consequences, right? Consequences to owning slaves, but then also consequences for the people who took it upon themselves to rape and pillage communities in western Missouri. The Jayhawkers would come over and basically, you know, take everything from these settlers. And then the guerrillas started up and said, we have to protect our communities. And this was pre-Civil War. This stuff was going on.
Yep.
And
was that Quantrill?
Quantrill was one. He was the most famous one, but there was a few others. And you know, Quantrill wasn't even from Missouri. He was just a hired farmhand, but he had the skills. He was you know, fought in Texas and done.
He was able to
things.
rally people.
Yeah, he was able to make the connections in the community. And so, as I'm reading this book, you're like, who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy here? But everything you see is a reaction to a certain action, and then it's a reaction to that reaction, and all this kind of stuff going back and forth. And it was a little bit of anarchy, I guess you could call it anarchy. But there's also like, hey man, this is our neighborhood, and you're coming over here from Kansas, and you feel like you're doing something that's justified, but then you're also raping and pillaging and stealing stuff and burning people's farms down, and we're not going to stand for that. That's too far. And it's not a justification for slavery by any means. They were wrong for trying to own human beings in the first place. So you have like this tit for tat mentality. What does it say in the Bible? An eye for an eye leaves everybody blind. Is that a biblical thing? I don't think so. That's definitely not in the Bible.
No.
That's Hammurabi's code was an eye for an eye, right?
I don't remember.
But dude, you had people. But there was like an honor system. That's my whole point. There was an honor system where if you do something dishonorable, you're going to be called out immediately for it. And, we probably should bring up some of that back.
Well, we were actually talking about this right before we started recording, when we should have recorded 2 hours ago.
Yeah, whatever.
About the armed revolt in Tennessee back in 1946. Mm-hmm. So this is right after World War II.
And they were revolting against a corrupt sheriff's department, right?
Yeah. A bunch of deputies seized a bunch of ballot boxes and locked themselves in a county jail.
Which is normal behavior for cops. Like, if you look at the history of police, the creation of the police in the United States, they were basically they were hired to protect the politicians and protect them from all the crappy things they were doing.
You had a bunch of World War II veterans who, in today's world, would be claimed as terrorists.
Oh, yeah.
Iraq war vets.
Yeah, they would say
you and I are terrorists.
Yeah, we're terrorists. I'm definitely a terrorist.
They broke out their weapons that they brought back that they captured.
Yeah, they would say they had a massive
whatever.
Stockpile of weapons and ammunition.
Right.
Yeah.
And they gathered, and a couple hundred of them surrounded the jail and demanded a fair vote.
There were some shots fired too, I believe.
There was.
Yeah.
And then the veterans ended up raiding the National Guard armory for additional weapons and dynamite.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was a siege that lasted for a bunch of hours and even a shootout. And they did end up dynamiting the jail doors.
Awesome.
And forcing the deputies to surrender.
Sappers.
And the veterans secured the ballots, verified the count, and ousted the corrupt officials from local government.
That's great.
That's a great example of the people standing up for what's right, not what you feel like is right.
Yeah.
What's right?
Yeah. So you mentioned there was a town was it California?
Yes.
Town council?
Yes.
Go tell that story.
I don't remember. I have to look it up. But there was a town council in California that was recently voted out of office. Mm-hmm. The entire council was all voted out. Were all voted out. They refused to vacate their posts, even though all new people were elected.
Yeah, that's great. No, of course. That's exactly what a true public servant would do, is refuse to follow the will of the people. So I asked the question, okay, what are they going to do about it? What are they doing? Will law enforcement step in and force those people to leave? The local sheriff, is he going to come in and enforce the will of the people? I would guess probably not, because the council is who decides their budget. And, they don't want to bite the hand that feeds them. And of course, I go all back to the beginning of law enforcement in America. They were started by the politicians to be the thugs that enforce their political desires.
4 council members and the mayor were all voted out of office and refused to leave.
Okay. But
I can't get into the article only because
paywall or something.
Yeah, stupid.
Whatever.
That's the other thing. You have to pay for news nowadays.
You have to pay to be propagandized.
Yes. This stupid media. I should start my own paper.
Well, you should.
Classic newspaper.
Yeah, like the Drudge Report. That used to be pretty good.
Yep.
But I think they sold out. Breitbart used to be excellent until they killed him. Until he was assassinated. Because he was telling the truth, so they killed him. So speaking of propaganda, I saw Young Washington while I was up in Chicago. Instead of going out and partying and going to the dueling piano bar for the I was at a seminar I don't know, I guess it's a seminar. Anyway, but they had the closing event. You see the last keynote speaker, and they're like, okay, we're going to meet in the lobby and take the bus to this dueling piano bar for a closing cocktails and buffet thing. And, that's so far from anything I'm interested in being a part of. So I went to the movie theater. by myself and saw Young Washington.
What do you think of the movie? Is it worth going? Were you able to go free?
I don't partake in I paid.
Were you able to do it?
There was no option. I bet if I would ask somebody, it probably would have.
Okay. Because here in the St. Louis area, you can go to the theater and see it for free as a veteran.
Yeah.
All veterans are free.
Well, when I bought a ticket at this place, it's all a big kiosk. You just buy your ticket at an electronic kiosk, a computer. There's no people selling the tickets there. It didn't give me an option to show my veteran ID card or anything, so I paid for it. And even then, I pay for them. I don't partake in that stuff. But regardless, it's an Angel Studios movie. And I know the story going in. I know the story of Young Washington, and I know the story of the battle in Ohio between the British and the French, and Fort Necessity and all that. So I knew the story going in. And
him massacring the diplomatic party.
They kind of there was a little bit of fluff in that. They didn't make it as brutal as it really was.
Oh yeah, because Washington did nothing to stop the Seneca Indians from scalping and putting heads on stakes.
The way they didn't show that. So the way they portrayed it is they were going on a scouting mission. They were the Senecas. They were like, okay, they're right here, and so they had the high ground and they were just observing. A shot was fired. They don't know. Nobody knows who fired the first shot, but all they know is the Seneca Indians were like, "It's on, let's go." And then
okay, that's later. Okay,
some of the Virginians joined in, like, "Yeah, let's kill these bastards," And so George Washington was like, "Hold your fire, don't shoot," trying to stop them. But then a French drew down on him and he shot him. But then it showed the Seneca chief killing the French captain who apparently had killed his dad. But they didn't show it. They didn't show the aftermath, they didn't show the scalping, the brutalization of the bodies, how
the Indians sticking their head in the brain and squeezing it like a sponge.
Yeah, they didn't show that stuff. So I looked at it objectively. Like, okay, what if I didn't know the story? What if I'm a bit like America's an evil imperial empire, evil empire. I would look at it like this is a total propaganda piece that is just here to rally the right wing behind and to rally the J6ers up to rebel against the government. That's kind of what it looked like. But also I knew the story going in and I was like, okay, this is pretty directly what the story as we know, as much as we could possibly know. Because there's a lot of parts that we don't know from 250 plus years ago. But it's a good story. I feel like it wasn't long enough, but also I felt like it was too long. At the same time, like they didn't give enough of his story.
Was that all it was? Did they ever go into the French or the French and Indian War? Did they go that far?
No, all it goes into is him being commander-in-chief of the Virginia militia. Like when they gave him his full colonel, like, you're in charge of the Virginia militia now. And they brought out the blue coats. He said, I have one. They offered him the command of the Virginia militia.
Oh, so right up to the French and Indian War.
Yeah.
When he's still actually a British subject.
Yes. So the governor of Virginia, who was a Brit, said, we want you to take this command. And he said, I have one request. And he said, look, we're not going to give you equal pay to a British officer. That's not going to happen. He said, no, it's the uniforms. He wanted to go to the indigo dyed, the blue uniforms for the Virginia militia instead of the red coats. And that was pretty cool that they showed that part. Us separating the Virginians separating themselves from the British military, the British Army.
Okay.
That was pretty cool. But they did show the height disparity. He was a lot taller than everybody else.
6'3". The
Yeah.
average height was for an American was 5'7".
Yeah. So
British or
was
Europeans
shorter.
were 5'4".
Yeah.
That was their average height.
So he was much taller than everybody else, which they showed that. The dynamic with his brother, his half brother, his mother, there was a lot of that in there. They showed him chopping a tree. But it was more of him. He was like angry and just taking out frustration on a tree, and it was kind of his thing.
Well, let me back up real quick on the historical perspective, because this was not the French and Indian War.
No,
This is earlier.
Earlier, yeah.
He was assigned to go up.
I think it was 1755,
somewhere around there. It was early.
Yeah.
He went up to the Ohio Valley.
Yes.
To meet with the French delegation. He was supposed to secure like the forks of the.
Well, before then, let's go. It starts before that. So he was courting a girl who was the daughter of a rich landowner, and he had just finished his training as a surveyor. So he snuck into a party for the girl, obviously, as most men do most things for girls. But he was wanted to see that he met the guy, like snuck up to his library, and the guy was in there. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just heard about this famous library." And anyway, he talks to this guy, and he said, I guarantee, like, you own the land, but you don't know the boundaries, and it's not worth anything until you can put it on a plot. So I can do it." And the guy's like, "Everybody who goes out there dies and doesn't come back." He said, "I'll come back." And so the guy shook his hand and said, "Okay, young man, go for it." And so him and a friend went out west to the Ohio Valley. And this is when the Seneca, they're like freezing, all this stuff goes on, but the Seneca approach him, and they say, "You're here to take over our land." He's like, "No, I'm just here to plot, like I'm just here to survey." Well, the French are right here. They're trying to take it over. So he's like, "Where are the French?" So George Washington brought that information back and said, "The French are building a fort right here." And it's at the forks of 3 rivers, right? Yes. It was the Monongahela, Ohio River, and another one. Yep. So then he took that information to the governor of Virginia, which is a British.
Dinwiddie.
Yeah. And he put him in charge of the Virginia militia to go out there and confront the French and tell them to leave, which was like ridiculous because the French are professional soldiers. They're hardcore soldiers.
Yeah. I mean, he went out there and he had the massacre.
Yeah.
Which ended up being a bad thing. And he spent quite a bit of time playing cover my butt on what happened. Once he read the papers that were with the Frenchmen.
Yeah.
But then Fort Necessity is what he built.
Which was in a terrible.
Yeah. And ended up having to surrender.
Yeah.
But he was allowed to march him and his troops back to Virginia.
But part of the surrender was he had to admit that they assassinated this French officer, and they were the one complicit. And he was like, "I don't speak French. My interpreter screwed me."
He blamed it on his interpreter.
Yeah.
That was the political side of a young 23, 24-year-old
and
George
he was like
Washington.
He was appointed a major, right? Like a militia major, but he had no military training.
Oh no,
whatsoever.
for that he was a lieutenant colonel.
That's right.
For that expedition, he was a lieutenant colonel.
That's right. And then the British military, the colonel who was supposed to bring the British regiment, he ended up dying, fallen officer dying. So,
he did.
So they were like, "All right, Washington, you're a colonel now." But then the British major was like, "But you're not a British officer, so I don't have to listen to anything you say."
Right. And that wasn't until later with the French and Indian War, which apparently is how the movie ended.
They kind of put stuff together.
Yeah. Because when you mentioned the survey, he actually had a crew.
Yeah.
Of people, not just him and one other person.
Yeah.
That went out there.
It was him and 3 other guys.
And they were all older.
Yeah.
And they all listened to him.
They did.
Told you something about the man.
There was a definite a natural leadership ability to him that just wasn't developed yet. Like he hasn't found his voice yet. He doesn't. He's very unsure of himself. And they show that in the movie, which was really good.
Okay.
Another awesome thing they showed was the interaction, which happened much later after the battle, the battle that took place between the English and the French, where the general was killed. Washington went back. He was the aide to the general, but he had no rank whatsoever. So, but he took charge and he saved the Virginia guys from getting slaughtered. But this is where the Indians were shooting at him. The French were shooting at him. He was putting himself out there in the front to draw fire so his men could escape. And he never got shot, but his uniform was like full of holes. His hat got shot, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But later, the natives came into Virginia and wanted to talk to him. And they were like, we have to meet this guy. And they were like, we need to know your name. We need to know who you are. What do they call you? And he said, George Washington. And he said, the native said, I have some of the best, the best sharpshooters. And I told my men to target you specifically, to shoot you specifically, and you were never shot. And my men never miss.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that. That's actually from a very not very well. It's a little known book that was once written. I actually have it. I might have given it to you to read. Mm-hmm. It's called The Bulletproof George Washington.
Yeah,
and it's about the Indian perspective of George Washington and how they experienced and were fighting against him during the French and Indian War.
And they basically said, you have the protection of the Creator over you. And they called him that. There was a certain phrase they used, that protected by the Creator. Mm-hmm. And they knew, you are special. And they basically anointed him there, like, you're untouchable. And whatever you do will succeed.
And that happened all through the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, it did.
He constantly had bullet holes in coats and hats.
He exposed himself
to
enemy fire constantly.
Uh-huh.
And
he personally was never wounded.
Never. Yep.
Crazy.
It really is. And he's the biggest guy out there. He's the biggest target.
Yeah.
And he was never hit.
And he was always calm.
I call him the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. He's the original.
I like that.
The GOAT president. He's the best president we've ever had. And it was all downhill after he left office. As far as I'm concerned, we've had a couple bright, guys that came maybe halfway close. I would not even close to him, but he is the example American. He's like, look, I'm rich. When they asked him to be president, first they asked him to be the king. And he's like, no way. No. We just fought and people died so we didn't have to have a king. There's no way. He could have been a king. But then they asked him to be president. And he was like, I just want to be retired, live on my land, grow my crops, make my whiskey, enjoy retired life. But you called and I'm going to answer. And so he became president, and he basically said, I'm not going to take a salary. You can't pay me. All I ask is you reimburse me for my expenses. And he kept a very meticulous expense log. And after 2 terms, he said, that's it. I can't do any more. This is all I can do. And that's where the 2 terms for president, it was like a tradition.
Right, because in the Constitution, you can keep running for re-election and get elected.
Until the freaking communist dictator FDR came into power, and he stayed for 3 until he died.
Well, 4 terms. He died in his 4th.
Yeah, thank God. He would have been the new American Stalin if he would have stayed in.
And then they added the amendment to make it just 2-term limit.
Yeah. So, yeah, George Washington's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I think the carvings on Mount Rushmore are pretty accurate for our country. Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty darn accurate.
Yeah. Didn't they've talked about adding a 5th, right?
Yeah, Trump. What a chump. I'm tired of that stuff.
Well, aren't they renaming an airport Trump International Airport?
They already did.
And then you have the whatever the freaking the art center,
The Trump,
Kennedy,
the Triumph.
Trump Kennedy Art Academy of Arts or whatever it is.
Oh, that was already struck down. They had to take his name back off.
Yeah. Dude, did you watch the UFC 250 event?
Can't believe I'm talking about it.
The UFC event.
I did not.
The amount of gold-plated and gold-leafed crap that is in the Oval Office and all over the White House now. They have a giant golden eagle.
He thinks
and
he's French.
Gold everywhere, man. Dude, Saddam Hussein did that. He had a golden toilet. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's not a golden toilet in the White House right now.
The Arc de Triomphe
Yeah.
in Paris, France.
Yeah,
The only thing that's famous about that is watching the Nazis march in front of it after they conquered France.
Right. Yeah.
So we're going to build our own. No, don't.
Stop. Yeah.
And
stop.
I told you before, if I was elected president, the very first thing I would do before I got elected, before I was sworn in, is rip all this shit out.
Restore the White House.
And restore the White House to its modest position that it's supposed to be in.
Yeah. It's just supposed to be a modest house. That's all it is.
Exactly. It's a representative of the people.
Yeah. That's our house, man. You're redecorating our house without our permission.
Gosh.
Knock it off. It's stupid, dude. It's a bizarro world. It's idiocracy, right? And then now you have, Lindsay Graham just died,
Yes.
right? And I'm not in any way, shape, or form a fan of Lindsey Graham. I used to live in the state that he represented, and it just boggled my mind that he kept getting reelected, even though everybody in the whole entire state hated his guts. But he would get reelected just because he had an R next to his name. And but then I was watching some of the news, like they were talking about how great of a man he was and how he worked for peace in Israel. He worked for peace in the Middle East.
It depends on the news site you're watching.
All sides.
Oh, no, he was slammed so bad.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Where, on CNN or something?
Normal
Left-wing?
liberal media.
Well, he should have been slammed. He was a scumbag.
Was.
He was an absolute scumbag. He was a warmonger who never actually did any fighting. He was a lawyer for the Air Force.
Well, he earned a Silver Star.
Earned it? Earned it?
You don't just get Silver Stars.
No, it was a Bronze Star, actually.
No, he has a Silver Star.
No, he was a lawyer in charge of the torture program in Iraq, and he got a Silver Star for that?
He has a Silver Star.
So... No, I don't think it was a Silver Star.
While you're chatting, let me look it up.
So he never actually did any fighting, but he was sure enough, and he never had any children. He was never married. But he was really, really sure that all of our children, and even me included, and our generation, we should all go off and fight these wars in Iran. He wanted to bomb Iran for probably pre 9/11. But he was a warmonger, man, and he was.
No, you're right. It was a Bronze Star.
Yeah, we got a Bronze Star. Yeah, he never held a weapon in his life, I'm sure. He would probably cry and pee his pants if somebody put a weapon in his hands. Everybody called him Lady G for a good reason.
He served for 33 years in the Air Force.
Air Force Reserve, wasn't it? Well, he had active duty time as a reserve JAG officer, which we all call them Blue Falcons. If you're a military police or a JAG officer, you're a Blue Falcon.
He let's see. He served 6 years on active duty.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the rest of it, the other 27 years was in the reserves.
Yeah.
Air National Guard. He was full-time Air National Guard.
Full-time?
Yep. 315th Airlift Wing JAG at Charleston Air Force Base.
Yeah. When did he get into politics? How long ago?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not reading his bio.
I'll tell you right now, from my own personal experience, the National Guard in South Carolina is basically the mafia and it is incestuous, to say the least. So I'm not going to tap dance on somebody's grave. I'm not going to say good, he's dead. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. I pray for his soul. You know, I don't know what his stance was with the Lord and all that. But to say he was a patriot and he was a good person, I don't see any evidence of that whatsoever.
Hey, he was a veteran for 33 years in the Air Force. I give him credit for that.
I don't.
I'm sorry you think that way.
Yeah. Just because I lived there for 18 years and I know how it works down there.
I couldn't care less about the state. He served in the Air Force for 33 years.
I would say he served himself in the Air Force for 33 years. He served himself. But it's unfortunate. That,
You don't even know. You have no idea what his service record was. None.
I do. I read the whole entire thing.
Okay. Well, you couldn't even tell me what it was when you're asking about it.
Yeah, he was a JAG officer. He was
a JAG
active
officer,
duty.
and he got a Bronze Star.
He got a Bronze Star for what?
Well, I don't know. You read his record. You tell me.
For being a lawyer over the torture program out of Iraq.
That would be Afghanistan.
He was in Iraq as well. He was over both.
Well, he got his Bronze Star for Afghanistan.
Okay. He was a lawyer who looked over the torture program, and then he teamed up with John McCain against the torture program that he was in charge of.
They were best
because
friends.
It was politically expedient for him to do so. So somebody who's in charge, man, I don't know, dude. I don't want to go down this road, actually. I don't want to be negative about it. The poor man died. It sucks.
I give him credit. He served his country. He served his country for 33 years in the military, and he served his country through being a member of Congress, probably for just as long. I give him credit for that.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly disagree with you. But
I don't see you
it is what it
running
is.
for election for anything.
Yeah,
I don't see you taking the brunt of any kind of diatribe by any other news organization, political whatever, to hold office.
Yeah.
You're sitting in here just
you don't see it.
Chatting.
You don't see it. That's what you say. You don't see it.
Well, no, you're just here chatting and
you don't know
giving me your
anything about
opinion.
my history. You don't know anything.
Just because you had another podcast and you had political motivation in your previous podcast has nothing to do with you serving the country outside of your time in the Army, just like mine. Yeah. And he did the same thing. Yeah. No. And you're telling me that he was corrupted because he served in the Air Force.
No, he wasn't corrupted because he served in the Air Force.
He's corrupted because he was a JAG officer. He's corrupted because he didn't hold a rifle. He's corrupted because he was over the torture program. He's corrupted because he was a friend of John McCain. He's corrupted because
John McCain
he ran in Congress.
I think John McCain was a great man. He was a flawed individual, but I think he was a great man.
Well, they were best friends.
Yeah. I think, I don't understand that. I don't understand that friendship, but I wasn't there.
I don't know. You and I are friends.
Yeah, that's weird, man. I don't get it. Opposites attract, I guess.
Exactly. I keep you grounded.
I'm really trying not to say boomer right now.
I know you're not. I came armed tonight.
Look, Lindsay Graham was a grade A scumbag in my eyes. And I think he was a tool, and he served himself. And that's my opinion. And I'm entitled to my opinion about certain individuals. About anybody. Anybody can have it. People can have an opinion about me.
As an elected official.
Yeah, dude. You know what? The last election I saw him elected to, when I was down there in South Carolina, they called it at like 2:30 p.m. And there was still more than half the state to count the votes. And I was like, how the hell is this possible? How can they already call it when they haven't even counted more than half the votes? But, whatever, dude. That's their prerogative. I didn't vote for the man at all when I was a citizen of South Carolina. But I could see why the people would vote for him down there, because the alternative was freaking communists and ridiculous leftist, insane people.
And that's what we're running into today. We really have to stand up and fight against the rise of socialism and communism in this country, because it is coming back.
But dude, even now you have people with an R next to their name who are full on socialists and communists. Like they're probably, Lindsay Graham is one of them.
Well, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Well, his sister took his place.
Yeah. Well, until the next
who
election.
looks like Lindsey Graham in a dress, which, was probably a normal thing to
until the
happen.
next election.
Yeah, I think they have August 11th. They'll do a special election or a primary or something like that. Yeah, man.
I mean, I grew up. I'm bringing this up because I am 9 years older than you.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit more knowledge and the way the world was when at the height of communism was all over the world.
Well,
and a lot of socialist governments.
Well, like today, it takes on a weird, twisted version of it, right?
Well, yeah, because they know that they would lose their power if they maintained what it was.
They can't come straight out and say but even like New York and the governor of or the mayor of Seattle, like people are just coming out and saying it now. That these socialist programs, like, okay, I'm a socialist, and they're winning elections.
Right. That's the problem.
Yeah. So it went like socialism was a 4-letter word, and so everybody hid it. But
see, nobody knows what it is. Everybody thinks, oh, we're going to make things better for the common man and all this stuff. That's what they're running on.
Right.
And it's not true.
Well, like Ted Kennedy, right, would have been considered a moderate Democrat compared to the people nowadays. But he was a socialist, right? He was an elitist, and a socialist. Period.
Ted Kennedy the president?
No, Ted Kennedy the senator.
The
one who let his girlfriend drown in Chappaquiddick.
Yes. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Yes.
He was a socialist. There's Hillary Clinton, socialist.
Well, Teddy Roosevelt was a bit of a socialist.
He was, yeah.
I mean, if you get down to the nitty-gritty of the
absolutely,
whole thing.
Yeah. That's why I'm very careful about what
I don't think anybody understands it anymore. Everybody just jumps on the propaganda of
Fox News version of
I'm going to vote for this socialist person who's running as a Democrat who's really a socialist, because they don't run as socialists.
No, because we have a two-party system, and if you vote anything other but a D or an R, you have no chance.
I'm pretty sure that if you want to run as a socialist today, you're going to get elected.
You probably could, like a third-party candidate.
Because even the Democrats, the classic Democrats, are revolting against the socialists within their own party now.
Well, because they know it's untenable.
Right. They're losing their power.
Yeah, they're losing power. That's what I mean, untenable. Yeah.
Right. You ever heard of somebody named Ann Landers?
It sounds familiar.
Ann Landers was like a commentator.
Yeah.
She had a newspaper article every single day back in the day when newspapers existed. Everything was in paper, and once it's printed, you can't change it.
Yeah.
Like you do with AI today. But you would write her questions, and she would answer them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them were etiquette-related questions.
Yeah.
Like, how do I handle this at a bridal shower and this kind of thing?
Uh-huh.
But there was one that came on. This is from long time ago.
Oh, yeah. People used to write letters to her, right? And ask her opinion or how to do whatever.
Her advice.
Yeah, advice column.
And so Ann Landers, she gave you definitions of what socialism and communism were.
Mm-hmm.
Socialism. This is me when I was a kid.
A socialist?
No.
Oh.
This is the article.
Oh, okay. All right.
Back when I was a kid. So this is 40 years ago.
Oh, the article came out when you were a kid.
Yeah, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Socialism. Let's say that you own 2 cows.
Uh-huh.
Right? You're a farmer, you own 2 cows.
Sure.
As a socialist, under socialism, you have to give one to your neighbor.
Okay.
That's the classic definition of socialism.
The theory of socialism.
Yes.
Yeah. Reality would be the government takes both of my cows and
that's communism.
Okay, go ahead.
Communism.
Socialism is communism.
As a farmer, you own 2 cows.
Yeah.
and you have to give both of them to the government,
Yeah.
and they might give you some milk in return.
Right. Maybe.
Maybe.
If you have the right connections.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I remember as a teenager,
Mhm.
I don't remember the leader of the Soviet Union at the time. The Soviet Union, by the way, to you youngers who don't get taught this anymore, is modern day Russia.
Right.
And it's the Soviet Union,
Yeah,
which
it
was
was
communist.
Eastern Europe, Northern Asia, or Southern Asia, I'm sorry.
He came and visited the United States, and he was down in Dallas, Texas.
Gorbachev.
No, it wasn't Gorbachev. It was
The
before
one
him.
before him? Okay.
Or after him.
No.
It was before. Can't remember who it was. Chekhov? No, it's not Chekhov. I don't remember. It's one of those offs.
Who's the guy who slammed his shoe on the desk at the UN?
Oh, that's Khrushchev back in the 60s.
So it was the one after Khrushchev,
Later.
before Gorbachev.
It's the 80s.
Yeah.
That was the 60s for the boomers.
Yeah.
I wasn't even born yet.
You were born in the 60s.
I was a twinkle in my father's eye.
You were born in 1969.
70. Sorry.
Wow.
Loser. Anyway. Anyway,
1963.
he is in
Kevin was
Dallas, and he went to a normal
grocery store. This was Gorbachev.
No, it's not Gorbachev. It's the other guy. No, it's before him.
Okay.
He goes there, and he is simply overwhelmed by what he saw in our grocery stores. All the meat and the selection and the variety and all that. Because at that same time...
The abundance of it was what... Yeah.
At that same time, you can go to a Soviet grocery store, even in Moscow, the city, or the capital of the Soviet Union, and everything would be empty in the freezer case, and there might be one section that had, ox jaws or something.
Yeah.
Stupid. That would be it.
Yeah.
There's no meat.
Right.
And you had these ration cards, and all this stuff was going on. You started a revolution in the Soviet Union. It was crazy because Levi jeans were banned. And if you got yourself a hold of a pair of Levi jeans in the Soviet Union, it was like gold.
Well, our CIA actually did that on purpose, smuggled Levi's in and cassette tapes of rock and roll and stuff to show them. We do the same thing in North Korea now with DVDs and flash drives.
Yeah, but it was normal in the Soviet Union to have food lines.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, bread lines and
And it was supposed to be a prosperous...
But the political elites were eating well. They had vodka, they had steaks.
Yeah, watch the James Bond movies from the 70s and you'll understand the Roger Moore versions.
Yeah.
You'll understand what it was like really in the Soviet Union with the elite.
Yeah, you had the haves and have-nots. That's what communism is. If you're in the political
Well, that's what
elite.
we're getting today.
Oh, for sure.
The mayor of New York, his wife, just flew to some conference in the Middle East.
Yeah.
First class, that had the full on everything taken care of. But he wants to do rent controls and things like this.
Told everybody to put their thermostats on 78.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
But you can guarantee you can go to his residence as mayor, and it's probably on 65.
But everybody's buying this. I grew up in a time, people. I grew up in a time in the 80s when you thought the whole world is going to blow up in a nuclear war at any minute. Mm-hmm. That's what I grew up in as a teenager. And to be able to have that in your head preached to you all day long, and then you just go to school and act like nothing's ever going to happen.
One of the previews for the Young Washington was another Angel movie about Reagan meeting Gorbachev at in Iceland for the talks.
Oh yeah, Reykjavik.
And it shows how close we were to nuclear, like mutually assured destruction. Russia was like, we have this many nukes pointed at you, and Reagan said, okay, we have twice that many pointed at you. We're not trying to start a war with you. We're trying to end a war. And he's like, you might launch nukes at us, but we can guarantee we're gonna annihilate you. And we were so close. It came down to a conversation between the two leaders, basically a chess match between two world leaders to stop the annihilation of the modern world. It would have been like global destruction.
It was Boris Yeltsin.
Didn't Yeltsin come after
Gorbachev? 1989.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that was, and also, Remember the Metallica concert in
Yeah.
Moscow?
Yes.
That was before the fall.
Yes.
And there was like 1 million people at that concert and going crazy. And all the Russian soldiers were like, oh, crap. What do we do about this? Like, I have a little AK-47 and...
You could see them getting involved and kind of happy at the same time.
Yeah, but they were
trying
also
to be...
very nervous. Like, this is not good.
But this is what I'm trying to convey. So socialism promises equality, economic fairness. I want to eliminate poverty, reduce inequality,
Yeah.
and the needs of the people above the interests of the wealthy. I mean,
Everybody gets a personal butterfly and a personal rainbow.
but it's all about centralized control.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's really a romanticized version.
It's a utopian idea.
Yes.
That's
It
exactly
has nothing
what it
to do
is.
with reality.
No. But where are we at today here in America, Kevin? Where are we at today? Even in middle America, in east central Missouri.
Oh, we're all swimming in a dream.
So you drive down the street and you have a camera watching your vehicle. They see your face.
Every intersection.
They see what stickers you have on your car. They see what your license plate is. They know the state of your vehicle. They know which direction you're traveling. They can also, now these cameras can connect to your Bluetooth. They can see your GPS. They can see what music you're listening to. And now they're going to even buses having these cameras that will see every single vehicle that passes a school bus.
I didn't know that.
What direction you're traveling, they're going to say it's for the safety of the children to see who's running the stop sign on the side of the bus. But the cameras are running all the time while they're driving down the street. So now you have mobile surveillance devices. You have one municipality in Texas that just bought, I think it was $7 million worth of vehicles from Israel. And these vehicles are equipped with a device that will be able to listen to the conversations inside your vehicle while they drive past you. As they pull up alongside you, they can hear what you're talking about. They can hear what music you're listening to.
Wasn't that what Alexa does in your house?
Yeah, of course. Your phone does it. This phone's sitting up on our bar, right over there. It's 15 feet away, listening to our conversation, what we're saying right now.
Well, of course, because you get an ad referencing to Uncle Nearest tomorrow on your phone.
Yep. This smart TV that's sitting over here to your left and my right is listening to us and what we're saying right now. The Wi-Fi box that I have upstairs, the wireless internet, can map out my entire living room and see where people are moving around
Well,
inside
what do you
my
do
living room.
about it?
What am I doing about it?
Well, what can we do about it?
You could join an Amish community. That's about it.
That ain't going to happen.
That's about it, man. Or you can go gray man. There's you just play along with the program, but go against it underneath. But even then, they know your facial structure. They can tell the space between your eyes and the bridge of your nose. If you wear a mask, they know who you are.
Do you think the encrypted programs that we have, emails that we use, do you think they really work?
No. No, all those are created by the NSA, and they have backdoors, and they can read your encrypted emails, encrypted messages. If you use Signal or Telegram or WhatsApp or whatever, those are all created by the NSA. Proton, I don't know.
I mean, it's a struggle to get into it. It makes me feel like that they can't get into it. But
So-
I mean, it's just like anything else.
You have to use a multi-layered approach, right? And, man, I don't know if I want to talk about this. I don't know if I want to talk about this. Honestly, I would just say multiple layers of security are your best approach.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that analog is the best.
Should we, well, of course. Should I go back to my flip phone?
Start raising pigeons.
Well, those all went extinct. The homing pigeon.
No, you can still you got some pigeons at work. There's something called a dead drop. Maybe look into that. Start writing letters. But even if you write a letter and send it through USPS, there are ways to.
Are we going to create our own postal service again? Kind of like what Ben Franklin did to get away from the British spying on colonist mail?
I don't know.
We're going to be the postman like Kevin Costner?
I don't know. Dude, look. There is a way to set things right, and it's absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific.
I would just say that we went to war as a bunch of colonies against the greatest power in the world over a 3% tax.
Yep. I would also say we got our asses kicked in Vietnam and Afghanistan over some rice farmers and goat herders. So,
well, why did we get our ass kicked?
The politicians and the industrial military and complex and centralized command.
The rules of engagement. That's all it was.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So what you...
Because if it was total war, we would win.
Yeah, you want to see total war?
Like, we can win in Iran already. We can quit wasting our time with Iran, but won Iran and taken over.
This is why everybody's going against Israel right now, because they're waging total war.
Sure.
And they're honestly being a bit subdued.
Well, completely.
Yeah. So
because they want our money and support still.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that is.
And the United States is the only one supporting them and behind them, which is foretold. We know that.
Yes.
But full-scale war, when they... Like, you remember when the Iraq War started in 2003, and they said this is full-spectrum warfare. Like, no, it's not.
Shock and awe.
Shock and awe. Full-spectrum war. No, that's not full-spectrum war.
I laughed at shock and awe when they used that term, and I watched it, and I'm like, no, that's not shock and awe.
No, that's surgical strikes. That's all that is.
Shock and awe would have been B-52s, just carpet bombing.
Yeah, carpet bombs, and then you have all of our tank divisions rolling in from all sides. That would have been
at everything.
Shooting everything, killing everything, running over car. Like, people have no idea what full-scale war looks like in a modern era.
Right.
And it's like...
There is a company that the government just gave I think a $500 million contract to, $500 million contract.
That's small. That's not much.
For low-cost suicide drones.
Okay.
Out of California.
Weird.
They're already equipped. They can build 1,200 drones a day. I'm sorry, 1,200 drones a week. And they are gearing up and set up to have 1 million drones constructed and ready to go with the military by 2028.
So already we've seen a demonstration in Iran of the rescue of down Apache pilots by a drone boat in the Strait, and then we saw an attack on naval ports by drone boats.
Yes.
And we can watch them. Have you noticed the video clarity that they show those in? Like, you can see individual leaves on a tree.
Well, that's because the guys are sitting there filming it. I mean, they're actually in country.
Well, there's drones flying overhead, though. So you have a drone boat, then you have a drone flying overhead at 40,000 feet.
Yes.
That's record. But then there's also, like, our satellite imagery. You can see, like, somebody picking their nose.
There is
from space.
The United States military just released a new article about a self-defense system against drones, because as well as drones are, you got to have self-defense against them. And it's a dome with multiple barrels all around it.
Like shotgun barrels?
Yeah, and they can react in less than a second, like a millisecond, in every direction. And take out drones.
Well,
and they're equipped to be on top of, like, Hummers, pickup trucks, on the sides of planes, mounted on the ground next to, I don't know, nuke sites.
Right. Data centers.
Yes. So I think the asymmetric warfare is accelerating what would have been something that we would have seen in 2030. We'll see in full scale within the next couple of years.
Yeah, there was reports of, like, drone motherships close to the coast of the United States. And when there was those UAP, like, everybody freaking about the New Jersey drones and all that stuff, like there's UFOs all over New Jersey. All that was a test run for these companies who are testing the mothership
Oh, I certainly believe that.
Yeah, they were.
It's not a UFO.
No, it's us. They were testing the mothership concept of one big drone ship dropping multiple drones, and that's all it was. Usually, like they did it over the deserts in California, Nevada area. They did it on the East Coast and all over the place.
I mean, even the U.S. Navy now has they just signed a new contract for a new class of ships. They're going back to moving equipment almost like to old World War II level island hopping.
Yeah.
So they have a new contract for ships to build that would carry all the equipment in the ship, and they can
move like an entire division,
land the ship, and then off ramp everybody right into whatever they're landing.
You see,
to.
this is another thing that the Marine Corps gets right, and the Marine Corps gets a lot right. But one of the things they always say, the most important piece of equipment in the Marine Corps is the Marine, is the individual, the person who is operating the equipment, holding the rifle, moving, the logistics. The Marine is the most important piece of equipment in the Marine Corps. And that's what it's going to come down to, because if you look at the Ukraine-Russia conflict, it went to trench warfare super quick. And, Russia has some of the best tanks in the world. Not the best, obviously, but they're pretty close. They have some of the best planes in the world. And they have a lot of artillery to bring to bear. But it didn't mean a thing because the drone warfare. You had a nerd flying drones, a POV drone, and killing soldiers. And then it went to straight trench warfare and house to house in the Donbass region. And it's man-on-man knife fights.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's another report that came out recently that the average life expectancy of a soldier on the Ukrainian battlefield is 20 minutes.
Well, did you see
because of the drones?
The Ukraine recruiters trying to go get guys off the streets, and they ripped his uniform off and beat him half to death. Like, get the we're not fighting for this bull crap over some piece of land that's Russia to begin with. It belonged to Russia, they don't care about it, man.
I mean, I said that before. I mean, Ukraine used to be part of Russia ever since Catherine the Great back in the early 1700s.
Well, Ukraine, all the death squads in World War II that the Nazis used to kill a lot of the Jews were Ukrainian death squads. They were basically for hire, and they've always been that way. They've been in between, and unfortunately, probably great people.
Well, so where do we go from here?
Start at home. We've said this time and time again. Start in your own home and work your way out. It starts with your own children. Don't forget the history. Don't forget your history.
Well, learn the history.
Learn it. Don't forget it. Know the truth and stand on the biblical truths. Stand on the truth of our history as America and work your way out through your, I guess, HOA now.
No, my HOA is about as communist as you can get.
You can skip over them. They're irrelevant. Go to your city council, your county council.
I already have my HOA people picked out in my subdivision. If the EMP hit, there goes the bulldozer.
Oh, that's crazy. Their house burned down. I don't know how that happened.
I mean, I was standing there drinking a cocktail at midnight, and all of a sudden...
That's unfortunate. But start with yourself, honestly, as men, right? I can only speak because I'm a man. I'm going to speak for men. You have to start with yourself. Do some self-reflection. Know who you are. Know your strengths, your weaknesses. Work on your weaknesses. Maintain your strengths. And work outward. That's pretty much it, man. Like, beyond your county council, good luck. Even county council, good night, man.
Yeah.
It's rough. And by the way, Kevin, I have ran for public office before.
Me too.
So
what did you run for?
County sheriff. Yeah.
How'd that go?
I got a significant amount of votes.
How bad did you lose?
Only by 1,500 votes.
Okay. First time in?
Yep.
Were you running against an incumbent?
Yep.
Gotcha.
And that was on a write-in.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
Okay.
So
I ran for city council on a budget. I spent less than $700
that's pretty good.
running against an incumbent.
And
I won by 1 vote. And
so it went to a runoff?
It went to the absentee ballots.
Oh.
And I lost by 10 votes.
Those freaking scumbags use the absentee ballots.
I lost by 10 votes.
We should not have that. Unless you're in the military, you shouldn't be able to do absentee voting. I think.
I'm kind of with you. I think when it comes to voting, it should be a national holiday.
Yeah. I think you should
Nobody
dip your finger.
works.
I think you should dip your finger in ink like in Iraq.
I don't know.
You better be there in person and dip your finger in the ink.
Um,
Not wear the sticker on your. I don't ever get that stupid sticker.
I get it. I stick it in my diary.
Oh, yeah.
I think voting should be a national holiday.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Everything is closed.
But don't we have an election coming up in August?
Primary.
Is it the primary? But there's like
There's a lot
like
of stuff.
amendments and stuff.
A lot of stuff for the state of Missouri. A lot of amendments.
Right in the first weekend of August. It's weird.
We should all be allowed to be. Every business by law should be closed.
Yeah.
Every single one. Like the old Blue Book days on a Sunday when I was a kid, and everything was closed. And you went to Illinois because a bunch of pagans. You went over there to do your shopping. Everything in the state of Missouri was closed when I was a kid. I think the election should be the same way. Everything is closed by law to give you the opportunity to vote. If you don't want to vote, that's fine. But I think it should be a national holiday.
If I went to my boss and I said, "Hey, I'm going to go vote,"
he'll let you.
For sure.
Yes. But I don't care about that. I think it should be a national holiday where everybody focuses just on that.
Yeah. How many people vote without actually reading the ballot measure? They just vote off of what they see on a billboard or Facebook.
Or, like you said earlier, the letter R.
It's so stupid, man. People are sheep. Straight up sheep.
Of course we are.
Even I fall into that trap sometimes. I'm not perfect.
I have.
Yeah.
I'm more discerning now.
I voted for Donald Trump this past time because I thought what's her name had a chance to win, but apparently she didn't. But it's the last time I'm voting in a national election, honestly.
Oh no, not me. I'll keep voting.
Yeah.
As long as I have the opportunity to, I'll vote every freaking election.
I usually voted. I think the first time I was old enough to vote, I voted for. Who was the third party candidate when Bush and Gore? What's his name? Ralph Nader. I voted for Ralph Nader. Just because.
Yeah, you're showing your age.
I knew Bush and Gore were both full of shit and were anti-American. But Ralph Nader, turns out, he's anti-American too.
Yeah, I was going to say, you weren't showing your age. You were showing your immaturity by voting for Ralph Nader.
Well, Bush got us into a 20-year plus war. And Gore was a complete communist. But,
yep.
So maybe Ralph Nader wouldn't have been that so bad.
My very first vote was 1988. Reagan was coming out, and I voted for
Are you sure you're only 9 years older than me?
Yep. I was 18.
Dang.
I voted for George Bush Sr.
Yeah.
He only had one term.
Illuminati.
But then the second time around, I voted for the third party guy. Oh my gosh, who was that?
Oh,
the Dallas businessman.
Yeah, I can see it.
He had the best.
I can see his face right now.
Me too.
And he's
bald. Or big ears.
He owned the calculator company.
He wasn't bald, but he had his ears.
Yeah, he had big ears.
He had the most third-party votes.
Dave is screaming at us right now.
Anybody since.
Yeah, And that's the
Teddy
reason.
Roosevelt.
That's the reason why they changed the debate rules, because he crushed both of those fools on that stage.
He was something else.
He crushed them.
Who was that?
And they definitely stole the election from that guy.
Oh my gosh.
Ross Perot.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Ross Perot. He
Show
would have
my
been.
age.
He would have been a great president. I would have voted for him if I would have been old enough to vote.
But then the next time around, it was Clinton and Dole.
Dole.
I voted for Dole.
I would have voted
I wasn't
for
a
Dole.
Clinton dude.
Yeah.
But the re-election of Clinton, I voted for Clinton.
Really?
Yep.
Well, he balanced the budget, but he also got us in NAFTA, which turned out to be a horrible, economy crippling deal.
I mean, I get it, but
and we found about Nina, Arkansas, and how he was helping the drug trafficking with the CIA and then his wife. But that's all hindsight. You can,
At the time, I liked Clinton as a president.
Oh, he was definitely likable. He played the saxophone on the Late Show.
I thought he did well as president. It was a peaceful presidency for the most part.
Yeah, Bosnia.
For the most part, it was a peaceful presidency. Anything he did militarily was short-lived.
USS Cole happened under his watch.
Yeah, whatever.
I was a Clinton. I was in the military when Clinton was president, and we had.
Well, I was too.
Right. We had.
I always called it the Clinton Army.
East Timor kicked off, and we didn't do anything.
Everything was peacekeeping and disaster relief under Clinton.
Yeah, which would just cost the American taxpayer a shit ton of money and did no good. We had
I enjoyed my time in El Salvador.
Was Bush president during Somalia, Mogadishu?
No,
Clinton.
That was Clinton.
Yeah,
that was the early days of Clinton.
Right. So yeah.
No, wait.
93.
Was it Bush thing?
Who was president in 93?
Clinton.
It was Clinton.
Right at the start, because he pulled
pulled
everybody out.
Yeah, he was weak as hell, is what he was. And then we had the bombing of the USS Cole. We had the bombing of the Khobar Towers. We had the first bombing of the World Trade Center. We had the Oklahoma City bombing. So
nothing fazed him.
Of course, he didn't care. As long as he keep the hose coming, I'm good. Keep the women coming, I'm good, baby.
Yep, as long as he had Monica. I mean, that's what made the Drudge Report famous.
Absolutely.
Because Drudge...
They broke
the Monica Lewinsky story.
Yeah.
And I became a follower of Drudge after that.
Yeah.
It's like I liked the way he was set up.
I liked Andrew Breitbart was more my style. Drudge was great. But Andrew Breitbart, man, some of the stuff he broke, like, dude. That's why they killed him, though. So then we had Clinton and then Bush Jr., which I voted for Ralph Nader.
I voted
Bush
for
won.
Bush both times.
I voted for Bush the second time after 9/11.
Because I couldn't go with Al Gore.
Well, who ran against Bush the second time? It doesn't, like, there was no chance of somebody beating Bush after 9/11.
Well, right. Who was it?
I don't have my phone near me.
Hillary didn't run.
No.
Not yet.
They threw up some worthless dude. I have no idea. I honestly am drawing a blank. Who ran against Bush the second time?
Well, that just tells you something about races, competitions.
Yeah.
No one remembers the second place.
Yeah.
The only thing about second place, you're the first loser.
I just remember back then I was hearing, like, nobody votes against a president who's at war. It's never happened before. You don't vote against a president at war. And all this kind of shit. And I was like, wait, has there been a declared war yet? Has anybody declared war? I know we're fighting 2 wars, but nobody's actually declared war. Who was it, Kevin?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Dean. Was it Robert Dean? What was his name?
No.
The guy from Vermont?
Yeah.
The one who was freaked out on stage. But that's what brought him. He fell out after that, after the scream on stage, right? You remember that
God.
guy? We're going to go to Iowa.
To-
We're going to go to Massachusetts. And he's like,
Total blank.
who won that primary for the Democrats? Oh, Emma's having a great time upstairs. Singing and dancing. Who was it, Kevin? Let's go. Get those thumbs going.
Who was it?
Didn't?
It was John Kerry.
Oh, okay. John Kerry. Yep. Good old the Silver Star recipient from Vietnam, who threw his Silver Star over the
Yes.
the fence at the White House, but still wore it on his lapel as a senator.
Mm-hmm.
John Kerry, who still did a shit ton more than George Bush did in the Vietnam War. That's for sure.
Well, George Bush wasn't over there.
Exactly. But he was an honorable member of the Air National Guard, just like Lindsey Graham.
Hang on. Lindsey Graham served in the United States Air Force before he went into the National Guard. Bush never went into the Air Force.
That's true. Well, at least he didn't claim heel spurs to get out of it. Like our current president. So yeah, I voted for Bush the second time, his second go around.
What's the movie with Tom Cruise where George Patton was the military academy commander and he died, and then they kind of took over? Taps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Sean Penn was in that.
That's Donald Trump.
Yeah. Just pretending to be in the army. They call that cosplaying now.
That's
cosplaying
Trump.
as a, Oh, man. Yeah, weren't those high school kids? That was like a high school academy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Trump went to a military high school.
Which was not a bad movie.
No, it was good. It was
It's
fun.
kind of a good movie.
Yeah.
It's hokey as hell, but it's still a decent movie.
Oh, man. I saw a preview for a new Tom Cruise movie where he's like an old man with a gut and kind of like a Dick Cheney type.
He's an oil
person.
tycoon.
Yeah.
Yes. Caused a lot of problems.
Yeah, it's ridiculous looking. Like he caused the end of the world, and then they're like, you fix it. You caused it, you fix it, type of thing. And he's outlandish and crazy, but I mean, it's fun to see Tom Cruise play somebody besides like a F-14
Supposedly it's
Tomcat
historically
pilot.
accurate. I'm not sure.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
About like Greenland. It's something about like they broke Greenland in half or something.
I thought the guy he was playing is based on a real person.
Oh, it's probably Dick Cheney.
No, this is way back.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. No, this one I saw they were like the president was in a B-2 bomber flying over, and they're going to nuke Greenland to stop some kind of cataclysm or something.
That was Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise was in it. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
He's an oil man.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could be wrong. I've never seen a preview,
Okay.
so I don't know.
Maybe it did happen. They just didn't tell us about it.
I don't know. I know one thing. The Uncle Nearest is a pretty decent pour here and drink. And
Yeah. I think it's worth it. I don't know about $90.
no,
But,
I mean, for at least for this one, I know I'm drinking more than you have.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh. That's a problem.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could just feel that one. It just came right on out. Sorry, folks.
How many stars, Kevin? What do you give it?
3.
3 stars?
Yeah.
I'm giving it 4 because this is right up my alley.
No, I can't. It does not compete to me with Old Dominic that we tasted last week.
Well, I gave Old Dominic 2 stars, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, again, your ratings suck compared to mine, and I'm the bourbon steward, and you're not.
You know. All right.
You know what? There's no wrong answer, supposedly.
Yeah. So that means your little lapel pin there doesn't mean a damn thing. I gave it 4 stars because this is my type of whiskey. It's like a bit funky. It's a little harsh, but it's still palatable and sweet at the same time.
I wouldn't say it's harsh.
It's a little harsh, like a little bit on the finish, right in the back of my throat.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
It's like just enough to let you know you're drinking an American whiskey here.
Yeah.
Right? It's not...
it does remind me of Tennessee whiskey.
There you go. Yeah, it does, like a Jack Daniels type of Tennessee whiskey.
I am pretty sure right now if someone was to throw a blind taste test at me at Tennessee whiskey, I'll be able to tell you.
For sure. Whiskey. Yeah. Do you think you could tell the difference between the charcoal filtered and non-filtered?
Well, good question.
I almost think I could.
So charcoal filtering, and I said this last week, charcoal filtering does not affect the taste of the whiskey in any way.
I think it's the smoothness of it.
So
or
I'm
the finish.
not sure
the finish
that
of
that's
it.
The
I
case.
think. I think if this was non-filtered,
it's worth investigating.
If this was non-filtered, I would think, just not knowing anything, right? Not having tasted enough whiskey and bourbons, I would think it would be more flavorful, more.
Well, it can't be a Tennessee whiskey
unfiltered.
If it is unfiltered.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's true.
Because it has to go through the Lincoln.
I would say
process.
I might enjoy this better without the Lincoln process. But I don't know.
Why? Because
I would never know.
It does not affect the taste in any way.
Yeah. I like to have a little bit of some particulates in my drink.
Okay.
You know?
So that would be the non-chill filtered version of a bourbon.
Right. And that wouldn't be a Tennessee whiskey. So
right. That's the Kentucky
I guess
bourbon.
we would have to categorize. I'm more of a bourbon fan than a whiskey fan.
Well, maybe we should put together a flight.
Well, maybe you should, Mr. Bourbon Steward. Mr. Fancy Pants.
La-di-da.
I have another Tennessee whiskey for us to try on the shelf, but I think we're going to hold off for a couple weeks on that one. Next week, you're bringing the pour. Something. We'll see. And, you know, who knows? Maybe by next week, me and Kevin will be fist fighting over something stupid.
Keep denigrating the military. I'm going to hit you.
I'm not denigrating the military. I'm just denigrating one individual politician.
You denigrated his service.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
That's bad juju.
Well, my service, I feel like my service isn't anything to freaking write home about. So, whatever.
Yeah, but do you denigrate your own service? No, because you're proud of it. You talk about it all the time. You talk about it every single show.
Do I?
Yes.
I didn't talk about it this show.
Well, no, because I wouldn't let you. Because you're
I don't think I talked
Lindsay Graham.
about it last show.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yep.
What did I say last show?
I don't remember.
Well, probably didn't happen.
I'm the best. I'm a engineer, whatever. A seance.
I definitely didn't say that.
Let me throw out a Micklick.
I definitely did not say that.
Run towards the enemy, something like that. I don't remember.
No, I definitely did not.
Breach the obstacle, folks. Reach, run, go. I'm ahead of the infantry. I'm not the infantry.
If anything, I would say, I'm definitely going to die first. This is stupid. Why am I here right now?
Anyway, you can reach us. Oh man, we're going all over the place.
This is probably the best show we've ever done.
Well, it's the best one we've done in the last couple of weeks. I know that.
According to somebody.
Right. Sorry, Gail. You can reach us at on email.
I love you, Gail.
You can reach us on email at showmemk@gmail.com or on Facebook and Spotify at the Headspace and Tasting Podcast, where we'd love to hear from you. You can give us comments.
Please.
Yeah, if you have a bourbon recommendation you want us to try, let us know. I mean, we're willing to spend the money to go try out something.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot out there, people.
Or if you want to be on the show, come on.
Yeah.
We need some guests.
And we'll talk to anybody.
Anybody.
Really? I mean,
We
that's
need to
what it
have our
comes down
number
to.
one fan back on. She hasn't been on in a while.
Yeah.
And I feel like she kind of got cut short on the last show she was on because my dad was dying and I had to like leave really quick.
Yeah, well, I don't remember.
Yeah, that was the conspiracy theory show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I really want her to come back. Maybe we can do that show again. But it was like, you know.
And you know what, Dave, there's a spot for you.
Oh, yeah, please.
Still, love to have you on just to chat and
yeah, get some
back and
wisdom,
forth.
get your perspective on whatever we're
have some
drinking.
fun.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Other than that, everybody have a great and wonderful evening, and we're glad that you listened to us. And Matt, thanks for hosting as usual.
You're welcome.
And looking forward to next week.
Yes, sir. Oh, I want to end with, I just read Shackleton's adventure. There's a book called Endurance I just finished. There was a toast they would give every night.
Okay, let's do it.
Every night. These guys are stranded on a float of ice out in the Waddell Bay. And every single night they had a cup full of grog, they called it, but it was probably stout beer. And they would give this toast. To our lovers and our wives, may they never meet.
Peace out, folks.
All right, go.
I am.
Hello? Do you hear me?
Well, I think I hear you. Are you there?
No.
Matt, are you there?
There, I'm here.
Oh, I hear you now.
What in the world?
What did you do?
All I did was turn the volume knob. So we were having a post-show conversation about riding the wave of what God wants us to do.
Man, it's a wave.
One of those 100-foot waves, right?
Right? And you're like that little dot stuck inside of it.
Yeah. Hello? Dude, what's up with my... Oh, okay, there we go.
I hear you.
Yeah, so we were talking about that, like how things worked out in our lives to where we are presented with an opportunity. Is it an opportunity, I guess, that you could call it?
I don't know.
Where you're like absolutely terrified to say yes. But you know that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you and I both agree already that we have lived our entire lives by the time we were 25 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Like my bucket list was done when I was 20. I think 20 to 22. My bucket list, whatever you want to call it. I jumped out of airplanes. I've been bungee jumping. I rode the entire length of Route 66. I've whatever. Do we need a pause?
No, go ahead.
Well, I'm done with my bucket list, man. I drove up to PCH. I've been across the Golden Gate Bridge, the Oakland Bay. I've seen the Salt Lake. You know, I've done everything that I've written down as one of my goals, but that doesn't mean that's Kevin.
Sorry.
But that doesn't mean that's the end of it. And God has more plans than I'm sure the Bible says something about this, and our Dot's probably listening to this like screaming, as I say every show when we mention the Bible. But God has plans for us that, you know, our foolish human beings, we're like, oh yeah, I plan to do this. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. And God's just up there like, okay, bro, you can... All right, keep going. Go ahead. And then eventually they're like, here's what you're really supposed to be doing. Right. Are you done yet? Are you done? No? Okay, you need a little bit more? All right, go ahead. And now you're ready for what you're really supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
It's like we're constantly in basic training for what we're... So you and I were discussing, like, what are we doing here? What have we been preparing for? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I being forged and molded to do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I have no idea. And that's where your prayer life comes into play, right?
It's a wild life. It really is.
Do you have to like Hicks and Gracie. So you know the Gracie family who
No.
created Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Nope.
There was a Maeda came over from Japan, taught Japanese Jiu-Jitsu to some Brazilians, and the Brazilian Gracie family, they came up with Gracie Jiu-Jitsu or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Eventually, down the line, Hicks and Gracie, there's a guy named Hicks and Gracie, right? He's the family champion, undefeated, never been beat before in mixed martial arts or Jiu-Jitsu. He had this phrase, you need to flow with the go. But you always heard go with the flow, right?
Right.
But he would say flow with the go.
Well, what's the go?
Flow with the go is like, whatever you give me, I'm going to ride. It's like riding a wave, right? So you have a wave coming. I'm a surfer. I'm going to ride whatever wave you give me, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to make the best out of it. This is what you've given me. I'm going to flow with the go.
Gotcha.
Is that what God does? Like, he just throws away, like, here you go. This is what I want you to do. And you got to flow with the go?
Well, I think so, because God has thrown me so many curveballs in my life.
Yeah.
Things that I thought I could hit.
Yeah.
And
Swing and a miss.
Right. Exactly. I mean, it's just, I mean, that's life.
Yeah,
right?
for real.
That really is life. And we said it. We lived our whole lives by the time we were 25. I mean, by the time I was 25 years old, I had already traveled the world. I was married, graduated college, worked multiple different jobs. Had lots of different experiences.
You had children, right? By the time you were 25?
Not until 27.
Oh, okay. I had 2 kids, but I was 25. I win.
I planned my kids. When Gail and I got married, one of the things we said is we will not have kids for the first 5 years we're married.
Oh.
And the reason why we said first 5 years is we wanted to make sure that we were lifelong partners.
Mm.
And so we hit that 5-year mark. Gail was pregnant, had our first kid. Shortly after, right at the 5-year mark, really, of our marriage. But I mean, there was so much that was going on, and it was just nonstop. And even today, I mean, even my time today is all about what can I accomplish tomorrow? What is my sense of accomplishment that I can get? I can't rest on what I've done. I don't ever want to walk into a room and you see this person that maybe you report to as a boss or someone else who's got all these certificates and things hanging on their walls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But then you go in and look at them, and the closest one to today is 6 years old. Dude, what have you done in the last 6 years of your life?
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that person.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been a person to put my accolades up. Like,
Well, your accolades mean nothing
They don't.
if you haven't done anything with them.
Right. Yeah, you can get all the paperwork with your name on it if you want, but what have you actually done?
Yeah, because that was great 20 years ago, or 15, or even 10 or 5 years ago.
Well, yeah,
What are you doing today?
Even your education, like even if you have an MBA, right? You have a Master's in Business Association. But then, like, do you even know a damn thing about leading people?
Right. I'm pretty sure my experience will outmaster your master's.
Yeah, right.
Pretty damn sure.
Yeah. And, you know, we talked about, we were, after the show, the last show, we were at the bar, and we were having a conversation about our experience versus somebody's or some people, what they may bring as far as certifications or degrees. And, you know, I've been exposed to a leadership position since I was in my early 20s, and I'm now 47. And I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I don't want it anymore, man. I've been there, done that. I know what I'm capable of, and I don't want it anymore.
Well, the problem is God is going to let you
Right.
do that.
Yeah. And
So you and I are very similar in that we're quiet, and when we enter a room with people we don't know, we'll move to a corner.
yeah.
We might say hi because we're being polite,
Sure.
but over the course of that day or event, we're going to get pulled right into the middle, and people are going to say, "Hey, Kevin, or Matt, can you? We want you to take over on this." And you're going, all I did was walk in and stand in the corner.
Yeah, dude, I'm just here for a paycheck. Why are you asking me this?
Yep. There's a lot of natural leadership inclination that goes down along with that.
Yeah.
People will say leadership is trained or innate. No, I'm going to tell you a lot that comes with leadership comes with your natural abilities as a leader, and it's recognized.
Yeah. Okay, so there's like the natural leader and the trained leader. There's two different ways. But every once in a while, you have a natural... Just because you're a natural leader doesn't mean you don't need training.
Right.
So your natural abilities will only get you so far. And you need some refinement, some honing, right? And, you know, I'm not saying I'm the end-all be-all best leader and the whatever. Like, I'm the guy that's like, you're asking me to do this, but I don't want to be here, man. I just want to flow with the go. I just, like, I want to fly under the radar and do my thing and go home.
We can't do it.
But, dude, every single time it's like,
So my
all
dad,
right, let me put this big old heavy rucksack on and I'll do it.
my biological father passed away when I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, I asked my mom, I go, what kind of man was my dad? And she said when he walked in the room, he lit up the room. It didn't matter what he did. As soon as he walked in, everybody was attracted to him. It's not like he was the best looking guy, but everybody loved his personality, his humanity, and people were attracted to who he was.
Yeah.
And she said, I have a lot of his qualities. When I walk in, so this is one of those things that when they talk about leadership, when you walk out of the room, are people sad that you walked out, or are they glad that you walked out?
Yeah.
And I would rather be part of the sad group. Like, I can't believe that he just left us. I would rather be part of that group than be the person that goes, when you walk out, oh man, I feel so much better. I mean, how many people have we worked with in our lives that were that way? That were like, I can't wait till you get out of it. Leave, please leave.
Yeah.
But the other side was, when you left, everyone was like, man, I just wish he was still here.
Yeah. There's been a bunch of times in my life where people, like, there's a problem or an issue, and then I'm looking around the table, and I'm like, why is everybody looking at me? Why? What are you looking at me for? Like, I don't, what should I, do you want me to say it? Like, everybody knows what the problem is. Do you want me to say it? Something hit me when you were just talking is like, before my dad died, a couple months before then, we were having a conversation out on the deck. And I was just being completely raw myself with him. And me and my dad I didn't have the best relationship with him. I don't know how he felt about me, but I hated his guts, honestly. Just to be honest. But the Christian side of me, and only Jesus working through me, I loved him and I respected him as my father. And I thank God for the time we had together before he left. And but there was a time where he was like, why are you speaking to me like this? Why are you the only one who talks to me this way? And I was just telling him the truth. I was not afraid of my dad anymore, which my whole entire life I was afraid of him. But I wasn't afraid anymore. And I knew that I'm here to tell you the truth. And I just straight up told him, like, because I love you. Like, I love you, and I'm going to tell you the truth because I love you. I'm not going to placate you. And he had dementia and Parkinson's and cancer and all this stuff going on. And this was like my Rubicon moment. It was just like, like, this is me showing my dad that I'm a man. And I'm 46 years old. And I was just like, Dad, I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm going to tell you the truth because I love you. What you're, and in his dementia, he was being disrespectful and crude and all sorts of stuff. And I was just telling the truth. That's not acceptable. I'm not going to allow you to speak to this person this way. Well, what do you mean? What do you, and I was like, Dad, I love you. Like, man to man, I'm not going to allow this to happen. This is my house. And, he would, all the man stuff that somebody would say when he was in his right mind, this is my house. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. But I'm going to tell you, you're wrong. I don't know what came over me in that moment to say that. Because normally I would be more passive with my dad. To get along type of thing. But the only thing I could say was the Lord working through me to tell him the truth, so that he would understand when I speak the truth to you, it's the truth. And I had an opportunity to share the gospel with him and pray with him. And by God's grace, I was holding his hand as he was dying and prayed over him. And he squeezed my hand when I offered him the opportunity to accept Christ. And he squeezed my hand. And I know he was listening. I know he's in heaven right now. And
that's beautiful.
Man, only by the grace of God that all of this fell into place. Like me coming home to Missouri from South Carolina and living with my mother and father. We lived in their house. And they got to see my interaction with my wife and our daughter and my son, and they could see, like, it's different. There's a different dynamic here, and it's all by the grace of God.
Isn't it amazing to see how life works 2020, like your vision?
Yeah.
After the events happen.
Yeah, man. And all of it was from, like, trusting in God. And, we've talked about this in previous episodes where I was, like, rebelling against my belief.
And we can never stop talking about it.
No. And when I finally submitted, when he finally touched my hip, and was like, all right, here you go. It's over. I'm done with you. And when I finally submitted, and it was like, it's the most amazing thing. It's the bravest thing I've ever done in my life. Like, I swear to you, like, I've done what normal men would think was like incredibly brave. It's nothing compared to submitting to the will of God.
Right.
Nothing.
I talked to my adopted father.
Yeah.
When he was he was on the downhill slope to passing away.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to him about Jesus. And we went through the talk, and he said he believed in him. And I said, well, are you ready to be baptized? He said, yes. So we went to a public pool.
Wow.
And walked in, and normally you got to pay to get into the pool. And I talked to the person. I go, all I want to do is baptize my dad. Then I said, come on in. And we went in, got into the pool. I baptized my father.
It's amazing, man.
I'm getting emotional.
Just the fact that you call your stepfather your father, like that like broke my heart, man.
I was able to baptize him. And he passed away a couple years later. But that moment, I remember when I baptized him in the pool, and there was quite a few people there, and I actually publicly out loud said, does anybody else want to be baptized? Nobody else came forward. And that's okay. I baptized my dad. And I know that there's going to come a time when I'll be able to see him when I pass on. And I'm going to have my biological father with me, my adopted father with me, and the three of us are going to be able to hang out together and have a good time. And I'm so looking forward to that.
Me too, man. You know, my dad is with my son Henry in heaven, and man, I think I said this maybe last episode or before. I cannot wait to meet my son in heaven and my real father, my dad.
Happy days ahead.
Absolutely. Better than now, for sure.
Oh, without a doubt.
Better than today.
Right?
All the BS we talked about earlier, it doesn't mean, like I said with the 250 episode, our 250th anniversary, it doesn't mean anything.
No.
Honestly, we celebrate it as humans, and it's fun and great, and it's a good accomplishment here on earth, but ultimately, it's nothing.
Jesus himself talked about the time when the end times are coming, and all you gotta do is believe in him and confess your sins and believe in him, and you're gonna join him in heaven. And here we are, a little over 2,000 years later, and everything that's described, and Paul, the Apostle Paul, is very specific. I said it on our last episode about how things are coming the way they are coming as far as our end times, and we can identify them so easily. And please, people, I pray all day long that you would just confess your sins, ask Jesus to come into your life. And put your faith in him. I mean, really.
It's counterintuitive to our reasonable human minds, right? To accept that it's that easy. It's one of those, and we're going to talk about this probably in another show, the paradoxes of the Bible, where it's so easy yet it's so difficult for us as humans. But it's easy. You know, it's hard, but it's easy, but it's hard. And like there's these things that don't make sense to us because we're so grounded in our human brains and what's going on this earth. Mm-hmm. And it's like you have to, you have to submit, man. You just have to give in.
Yes.
That's the only question. That's the only answer to the question. Mm-hmm. Just give in. And it's nothing but love. Nothing but love.
Right. Love the Lord God. He's your strength. He's your shield. He's your foundation. He's your fortress. He's your strong tower of defense.
And how easily do we forget about that as believers?
Every day.
like we have to constantly remind ourselves of that, right?
The only time that we tend to remember or to remind ourselves is when things are going bad.
Yeah. And even that when I'm praying about when things are so bad and I'm praying, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, God. Like I failed and I've sinned and I need your help and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, but I'm also sorry that I didn't come to you sooner, that I didn't trust and believe. And, you know, I like ask forgiveness for my own unbelief. And then I feel guilty about even that.
Right. That's what's great about Jesus.
Yeah. I always think of myself as like, not only am I one of a sheep in the flock, I'm like the most stubborn one who's like on the edges, who keeps jumping in the ditch, and then Jesus pulls you out, and then you run right back into the ditch, and they pulls you back out. But I'm not alone in that.
No, like, I think we all are.
I'm not unique. We're all that way.
Right.
And I'm not special.
So true.
Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks for listening to this addition to the end of the show.
Yeah.
We love you all. How few you are. Even whatever, man. Thank you so much for listening.
Take the time. Love God. Ask Jesus into your life. I mean,
Amen.
That's really what it comes to.
Read the Bible. The truth is there.
It sure is.
It'll reveal itself to you.
Yep.
All right. God bless.